It's the Halloween Horror Haul. Yes, it's the Halloween Horror Haul. We're going to open this bunch up and see what we've got. So let's get started straight away. Now, if you're not familiar with the idea of this, if you haven't seen me do one of these, let me just explain very quickly. It's where I've had a bunch of small packets and parcels turn up. We're going to open them all up and see exactly what I've got. And there's so many of them, I haven't got much room. We're going to start with this, because this, as you can see, is from Forbidden Planet. So this should be a bunch of comics in this one, I believe. And there's several items in here from Forbidden Planet I've picked up. We've got some, I should have some graphic novels or trade paperbacks as well. And so what comics have we got? Now these items should all be, or mostly at least, should all be horror themed, because, you know, Halloween Horror Haul. So we've got, firstly, we've got from Marvel, Werewolf by Night. And then secondly, we've got, also from Marvel, although it doesn't say on it, it says on the back, we've got Blade. And I believe it doesn't say it because I think this is one of the variant covers. This is Blade issue 1 of the current series. And we have got Addams Family, The Bodies issue. I think this is a one, yeah, it says it is a one-shot from IDW, and looking at it, looks like this is based on the two relatively recent animated Addams Family films we had, which were quite good. And then we've got Black Demon Tales. So you may have seen there was a film out this year, last year, about Black Demon, which is a shark from Mexican folklore. So this, I don't know if this is about that, or if it just ties in with that, or if this is just folklore stuff. But Black Demon Tales issue 3, this one is. We've got Hellboy and the BPRD 1957, and I had the feeling this was a one-shot as well, From Below. Sure, this is a single issue story. And then we have got The Walking Dead Deluxe. I think this is called the newsprint edition, yes. And what this is, if I'm remembering correctly, this is a reprint of the very first story, but on better quality paper, or is it on better quality or different quality paper, possibly newsprint paper, I don't know. But those are the 6 comics we've got there to start us off. And there should be another one which wasn't in stock at the time I ordered it. That may have turned up in one of the other packages. And we have got, in this one, we have got some manga, which I have trouble pronouncing, so bear with me. Bakemonogatari. And this is volume 1, I believe, and I haven't read this at all. Obviously, volume 1, and there is a spin-off as well, which I also haven't read, but I believe this is something to do with vampires. It says on the back, one day high school student Kaomi Aragi catches a girl when she trips, but much to his surprise, she doesn't weigh anything at all. She says an encounter with a so-called crab took away all her weight. Monsters have been here since the beginning, always, everywhere. So I believe this is about a vampire and a boy who's not a vampire. So that's our manga. We've got some more manga in here, I believe. I did have several on order, so I'm thinking some more have turned up. This, I suspect, is a new t-shirt. And there's paperwork in it. And it says, "We make shirts happen." Let's take the shirt out. My goodness, that's super sticky. And this should be Oh, I can see what one it is. I was just going to say it should be from a movie. It is from a movie because I can see what it is. So, oh yeah, I've got a t-shirt from The Lost Boys. One of my favourite vamp films. And what does it say on it? Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire. The Lost Boys. Fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. Okay, that's our first t-shirt. And then we've got this one which weighs a ton, which is also from Forbidden Planet. Okay, and we've got, so we've got, I did say I had another comic ordered and it wasn't in stock. They've obviously sent it with this. This is issue 1 of Kill Your Darlings, which I don't really know much about. I read the write-up of it. It sounded interesting. If I'm remembering correctly, it's some girl who's made up an imaginary fantasy land, and then she ends up in the imaginary fantasy land, and there's some evil thing there destroying everything, or something like that. Kill Your Darlings, issue 1. That's the missing comic. And we have got several trade paperbacks. So we've got, firstly, Penny Dreadful, and this is a prologue to the TV series. If you ever saw that, the TV series set in the Victorian era with all the characters in it, Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster, and I think Dr. Jekyll, and was it Dorian Gray, I think, was in it. And this is the main character, whose name I've forgotten. But this is her looking for her friend Mina Harker. This is the prologue to the series. Oh, and this was on sale, if I remember correctly. I did write it down, because Forbidden Planet had a bunch of stuff on sale, which is why I picked it up. So, yeah, so this should have been £14, and this was £9. There's that, and then there's another one, which was also on sale, Anno Dracula. So this is from the book series by Kim Newman, which kind of follows up from Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it's an alternate timeline. And in that, the heroes fail to stop Dracula, and he basically escapes and takes over the British Isles. And this is a comic story set in that world. I think there's about five or six books. And this was also on sale. This should have been, what was this, about 14? 18 this should have been. And this was £2.99. So another one on sale. I think all of these were on sale, which is why I picked these all up together. And we've got American Vampire 1976, which makes me think this one in here is also American Vampire. Let's see if I can get this out. So American Vampire, surprisingly, follows the exploits of two American vampires. The original one is a character called, is it called Skinner Sweet? And he was originally around in the Wild West before he was made a vampire. And then the second one is a girl called Pearl, who's an actress in the 1920s. And then it follows them through various decades about what they get up to. This is volume 2. This is a hardcover one, and this one, yes, this one was about £20, and it was on sale for £2.99, and I believe it has now gone down again to £1.99. So £2.99 or now £1.99 for a volume of American Vampire. Very good. And I think volume 1, if I remember correctly, which was about 5 or 6 issues, half of them were written by Scott Snyder, who's the creator, and half of them were written by Stephen King. I think there were 2 in each issue. And then we've got American Vampire 1976, which I believe finishes off the American Vampire storyline. I think this is the last volume. And this was also on sale, and this should have been 16, and this was £11. So all of these were on sale, and possibly still are, if they've still got them in stock on Forbidden Planet. If you want to go and check Forbidden Planet out and have a look for yourself, I'll put a link in the description below. And then we have got, this one's going to be a little bit tricky. There we go. Come on. I've got the feeling this is going to be a couple of volumes of manga as well. And I think all the manga I picked up from people on eBay. So we've got volume 1 of The Promised Neverland, and we've got volume 11 of Demon Slayer. So Promised Neverland, if I'm remembering correctly, this deals with children at an orphanage, and every so often one of the children gets adopted and off they go, never seen again, and then some of the children find out that's not what's happening. The ones that they think are being adopted are being taken to the basement, and there's some creature in the basement. So that's that one. And Demon Slayer, of course, it's a manga series, it's an animated series, an animated film, which I seem to remember the year it came out, it was the highest grossing Japanese film ever, I think, something like that. And this is set in, I want to say, like the 1300s in Japan. And the main character, his family, while he's away, are all killed by a demon. And the demons in this, they're a bit like vampires. They've got fangs and they can't go out in sunlight and that sort of thing. And his family are all killed, apart from his oldest sister, who becomes infected with with demon blood, and becomes a sort of demon-human hybrid. And then he joins this group called the Demon Slayer Corps, and the story is about him and a couple of other trainees and his sister hunting down demons and killing them, and all the while looking for the one that killed his family. So volume 11 of that, we're getting through that. I don't know how many there are altogether. I believe it has got to the final volume. And we've got a little box. Okay, we've got a Funko Pop. To go with my other horror Funko Pops, we have got Chucky from Child's Play 2. So there's various Funko Pop Chuckies you can get. I just picked one I like the look of, which you can see there. We just got him with the knife in his hand. Excellent. So that can go up with all my other little horror pops there. And this could be another t-shirt. I've also, talking about Chucky, I've been watching the Chucky TV series, which is also pretty good. So we have got another t-shirt, which should also, looking after this t-shirt, yeah, we're not worried about that, which this should also, God, these are super sticky, these bags. This should also be a movie t-shirt. And just get the label out of the way so you can actually see what it is. Oh, and this is a werewolf one, and this is from Dog Soldiers, which is also an excellent film. If you haven't seen that, check that out. And this says, what does it say? Dog Soldiers, 6 men, full moon, no chance. So if you're not familiar with that, it's a group of is it soldiers or territorial army on manoeuvres in some forest or woodlands, and they happen across a sort of family of werewolves or a group of werewolves, something like that. What have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at this large size one. Let me get it out of the way. What was that? And is the tear off going to tear off? No. Is the tear off going to tear off? Yes. Okay. Again, this is Forbidden Planet. Ah, okay. So this is hardcover edition of Deceased, Hope at World's End. So this is the DC Comics Deceased series. I believe there are 5 volumes, and I think this is the middle one. This is the 3rd one. So this is about the DC world being taken over by a zombie virus, and all the heroes have to fight against this outbreak of zombies. And I think this is, if I've got it right, this is the third of 5 volumes. So very good. The only thing I would say is about 12 years before this came out, Marvel did do Marvel Zombies, which was very successful and very popular. And then out of all the things they could have done, DC decided to do sort of DC Zombies, basically. But that's DC Deceased. Very good. I guess if Marvel don't care that they've done zombies as well, then why should I care? And there we go. There's the tear off, going to tear off. Ah. Let's see what we've got. Okay, oh, we've got some more trade paperbacks. Okay, alright, we've got West of Sundown. Now this one, I don't really know anything about. I picked this one up because I read the description and it sounded interesting. So this says, a beautiful vampire must flee monster slayers in New York City. World has changed since she was reborn. So now her and her little assistant must adapt to life in the frontier town of Sangre de Moro, where all sorts of monsters have settled. So it seems to be a sort of Wild West-ish style town, although I don't know what period it's set in, but a Wild West-ish sort of town which just has a load of monsters living in it. So, sounded interesting. I thought I'd pick it up and check that out. I don't think that was on sale, that one. I don't think any of these ones were. We've got Nightclub, which is one of the new series from this year by Mark Millar, the prolific Mark Millar, who's the guy that's written, you know, Civil War and Old Man Logan and The Ultimates and loads of stuff for Marvel and DC, as well as loads of his own stuff. This is one of them. So in this, main character and his friends, as 3 teenagers, they get turned into vampires. And they come up with the very obvious idea, if you turn into a vampire, what do? Put a mask on, become a superhero. So they become a sort of vampire superhero team. Only problem with that is, firstly, they don't know what they're doing. Secondly, the person that turned the original one into a vampire has very different ideas of what they're going to be getting up to. So, Nightclub, that was out this year. That was very good. And then we've got Little Monsters, which is by Jeff Lemire, who's written... Oh gosh, he's written loads of stuff. I believe he's written Moon Knight. I think that was... was it the series? No, I don't know. He's written Moon Knight, and he's written X-Men, and he's written loads of stuff. If you look him up on Wikipedia, I'm sure there's a huge list of stuff he's done for Marvel and DC and loads of other companies. So Little Monsters... so it's a group of children, 6 or 7 of them, that appear to live in an abandoned sort of post-apocalyptic city on their own. And they're saying things like, oh, we can't do this because the grown-ups told us not to, and the grown-ups said this and that, and they're following these rules the grown-ups told them. A bunch of kids that, as it turns out, are all vampires. And they've been living on their own in this big city as kids for hundreds of years. And then suddenly, I think one of them gets stuck. He's too far away from their sort of home, and so he takes shelter somewhere else for the day, and when he does, he meets a group of humans, i.e. non-vampires, for the first time. So this was also very good, and this was kind of done in, if I can find a page to show you, this is basically done in black and white, or shades of grey, apart from when there's any blood. It's in, like I say, black and white, more black, white and grey with, oh that's better. There we go, black, white and grey with a bit of red. That was very good as well. That was a new one. And then the last one we've got, which looks, one, it looks like it's got squashed, and 2, it looks like it's been seriously taped up. I'm not sure how I'm going to get into it. Where on earth is the opening? Right, let's just start cutting the tape off and, oh, okay. think this must be it here. Hopefully it's not been damaged, what with the hole being squashed. And the bag there, we've got some paper there, it looks okay. Oh, no, it does look a bit, oh no, it has been squashed. The box has been squashed, that's kind of annoying. Oh man. Okay, but we've got one slightly squashed collectible figure of Wednesday Addams from the Wednesday TV series. In this case we've got Wednesday with Thing. Nice picture of her on one side of the box, and on the back we can see several other characters from the series you can get as well, and this is a Minix collectible figurines figure. So that's the last item we got, so let's go through and just run over quickly what we did get. So we got our Minix Wednesday Addams and Thing collectible figure, slightly squashed. We got our Chucky Funko Pop, not squashed at all, in perfect condition. We got a bunch of comics over here, if I can get hold of them. So we got Kill Your Darlings, issue 1. We got The Walking Dead Deluxe Newsprint Edition, which is a reprint of the very first issue. We got Hellboy and the BPRD 1957 One Shot from Below. Black Demon Tales issue 3. Wednesday Addams again on the cover of the Addams Family The Bodies issue. And then we got two Marvels. We got issue 1 of Blade and issue 1 of Werewolf by Night. And those are our comics. And then we got some manga. We got volume 11 of Demon Slayer. Excellent stuff. And then we got volume 1 of The Promised Neverland, and volume 1 of the one I keep having problems pronouncing, Bakemonogatari. Yeah. And then we got some trade paperbacks. We got Little Monsters there, volume 1, very good. And volume 1 of Nightclub by Mark Miller, also very good. We got the hardcover of Deceased, Hope at World's End, which I believe is Deceased volume 3, the middle volume. I can't remember if I mentioned this was half price on Forbidden Planet. It should be about £20 and it was 10. Again, if you want to go and check anything out on Forbidden Planet, I'll put a link in the description. We also got trade paperbacks of West of Sundown. We got American Vampire 1976. We got Penny Dreadful. We got Anno Dracula, and we also got American Vampire Volume 2. And again, all of these four were also all on sale on Forbidden Planet. And in the case of this one, I'm sure this is like $1.99 now, something ridiculous like that, maybe still $2.99. And what else did we? Oh, we got our T-shirts. We got our werewolf T-shirt, Dog Soldiers, and we got our vampire T-shirt of The Lost Boys. Two fantastic films you might want to check out for Halloween if you haven't seen them. So that was everything in our Halloween horror haul. That is it for this video. Until next time, remember, hit the thumbs up below, and I will see you in the next one. Wait! That's not all. As it turns out, there's a Halloween Horror Haul Part 2, and you can check it out over there.